Hello and welcome to this edition of Property Focus. It's been a while since we put out content, but we are back. All right. So today's edition focuses on red flags to look out for when you are purchasing real estate. What are some of the red flags you want to look out for as you go out to purchase real estate? Okay. I moved to do this particular one because of so many complaints and so many people that have come into in the course of my work that have been scammed, or that have come into people that have tried to scam them as they have tried to buy property. Real estate sometimes can be notorious for being home to a lot of scammers, as you go out there to acquire property for yourself. So I thought I should do this video and just shine a light on some of the red flags you want to look out for as you go out to purchase real estate. Okay, the red flag number one I find that many people don't normally look out for or pay attention to are the details on the certificate of title. Property will not be disposed of without the consent of the owners of said property, in the case of there being more than one owner. Okay, so if you have a couple, for instance, on the certificate of title, and only one party is trying to sell you that property without consent from the other party, either in written or spoken, that is a red flag, an immediate red flag there. Ding ding. Red flag number one. Okay, you will not dispose of property that is jointly owned without the consent of all parties to that ownership. Okay, now sometimes what might happen is people could forge signatures or change some details to make it appear like the other parties are involved in the transaction. Okay, what you want to look out for, it's very simple. In the event of a party being dead, one party being one party of to the ownership being dead, you would need, the party looking to sell the property would need legal documentation allowing them to sell said property. Usually that would be a probate. So they would need a probate from the court to allow them to sell that property. In the absence of that document, they would not, at law at least, be able to dispose of that property. Okay, so red flag number one, multiple owners on a property, but then only one party looking to sell the property to you without the consent of the other parties to that ownership. That is a red flag. Okay, number two, you now have a digitized record keeping system at the Ministry of Lands. So there's a lands portal now where the records have been moved to, right, at the Ministry of Lands, and there's been a gradual process of uploading property details to the portal, and that has taken a bit of time to complete. I think it's been going on for quite a while now. So what you want to do now, okay, when you look at a property that you are interested in, you ask to view the paperwork, the hard copy, the physical paperwork, and you are shown a certificate of title. You want to check the names on the certificate of title. You want to check the root of title. The root of title basically is the history of ownership of that property. So if a property has changed hands a few times over several years, you want to look at the previous owners to the property, if that is possible, and see that it tallies with what is at the lands record, at the lands portal. Okay, you are now allowed to, the online system allows you to log in. You can log in, you have when you register, you log in with your credentials, username, password, what have you. You can update your details there as a property owner. You can update your details there. You can update the ownership. You can update the address of the property and so on and so forth, and have the entire record reflect those details. So anybody could just check and see that those details actually match. Okay, that's red flag number 2. Okay, the third red flag: when a listing does not match what is on sale. Okay, sometimes property brokers will list a property that is different from what is actually being sold or listed out. It's not necessarily a red flag in the sense that it alters the property details, but you don't want to look at one thing online and then go to site and look at another thing, right? So you want to ask your broker, the property that they have listed, is it exactly what is on sale, or is it exactly what is on lease? You want to save yourself the hassle of time, going to a viewing and then finding that the property that you actually saw online or listing that you actually looked at is much different than what is on offer. So just a little detail there to look out for. Okay. The fourth and final one. Brokers that assign you to other brokers that assign you to other brokers. Okay, so if you have a broker that has a listing and they tell you, I'm not in a position to take you to view the property or what have you, however, I've got a colleague or a friend who is able to do that for you. You can call them. I'll send you the details and what have you. That's perfectly fine, right? Sometimes they are, people work in concert and they are tied up. But then you call this other person and they're also unavailable, and then, redirect you to a third person yet. That could mean something not quite right there. All right. Okay. So that would wrap up our discussion for today. Glad you could join us again. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and spread the word so we can keep delivering more of this and other content. Keep it locked right here.